Right now, two completely different job markets are running at the same time, inside the same companies. In one, hiring is quietly collapsing. In the other, employers cannot fill roles fast enough. The difference between which one you end up in is not luck. It is whether you saw this split coming. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which roles are shrinking, which ones are exploding, and more usefully, the pattern connecting all of them, so you can apply it to your own job even if it is not on either list. Let us start with the strongest evidence we actually have, because this part matters more than the headlines. Part 1. The real data on what is shrinking. Stanford's Digital Economy Lab ran the most rigorous study on this so far, using real payroll data from ADP covering millions of workers, not a survey. Their finding is that workers aged 22 to 25 in the most AI-exposed occupations have seen about a 16% relative decline in employment since late 2022, while employment for older workers in those same jobs stayed stable or grew. Same job title, same company often, completely different outcome. Here is what is interesting. That is not a story about AI eliminating jobs across the board. It is a story about AI eating the specific tasks entry-level workers are usually given. Drafting, filing, first pass code, routine research. The stepping stone tasks are disappearing faster than the jobs themselves. Part 2. Two real companies show exactly how this plays out, and it is messier than the headlines suggest. Klarna, the payments company, built an AI customer service assistant that now handles the equivalent work of roughly 700 full-time agents, resolving issues in under 2 minutes instead of 11 across about 2/3 of its customer service chats. Klarna's total headcount fell from 5,527 employees at the end of 2022 to 3,422 by the end of 2024. But here is the mistake almost everyone makes when telling this story. They stop there. In May 2025, Klarna's CEO publicly admitted the company had cut too deep, that leaning that hard on AI had hurt service quality, and announced it was rehiring humans for premium support. The real lesson is not that AI replaced the humans, it is that the company had to relearn in public exactly where the line between AI and human judgment actually belongs. Then there is IBM. Its Ask HR system now handles over 11 million interactions a year, with roughly 94% of those interactions resolved by the system itself without a human needed. Vacation requests, payroll questions, documentation. Several hundred HR roles were affected as a result, a real but far smaller number than the 8,000 layoffs figure that went viral. Here is the wow moment nobody mentions. IBM's total headcount actually grew afterward. The CEO said directly that the savings from automating routine HR work got reinvested into engineering, sales, and marketing. These are roles built around judgment and relationships, not repeatable process. Same company, same wave of automation. One side shrank, the other side grew on purpose. Part 3. What is actually exploding? LinkedIn's own 2026 hiring data ranked AI engineer as one of the fastest growing job titles in the United States. And one specific role inside that world, MLOps engineer, the person who keeps a deployed AI system running reliably instead of just building it once, has been among the fastest growing roles LinkedIn tracks in the entire tech labor market over the past several years. This changes everything about what learning AI should actually mean. It is not the flashy model building work getting the fastest growth. It is the unglamorous, ongoing work of keeping AI systems reliable inside a real company. Part 4. It is not just engineers. This is where things get really interesting because Microsoft's own numbers show a related pattern, even though the company has not confirmed a direct causal link. CEO Satya Nadella said publicly that as much as 20 to 30% of code on some Microsoft projects is now written by AI. Separately, Microsoft laid off roughly 2,000 workers in its home state of Washington, and more than 40% of those cuts hit software engineering specifically, according to Bloomberg's review of state filings, while sales and marketing were barely touched. Microsoft has not said the layoffs were driven by AI, and correlation is not proof, but it is a pattern worth watching. Whatever the cause of those specific cuts, the broader shift is the same one showing up everywhere else in this video. The routine, repeatable half of writing code is what is shrinking. The judgment-heavy half, architecture, debugging what AI gets wrong, deciding what to build, is exactly where MLOps and AI engineering demand is growing. Part 5. The compliance layer nobody is watching yet. Regulation is opening its own hiring wave separate from engineering entirely. Part of the EU's AI Act became enforceable on August 2nd this year, and it is pushing businesses to build out real compliance work. Inventories, documentation, disclosure processes. Exactly what is required depends heavily on the specific use case, and this is genuinely not a video that can tell you the details. Any business navigating this should consult qualified legal counsel for interpretation. What is relevant here is simpler. This has created real demand for people who can build the practical implementation side of that compliance work. To be clear, that is implementation, not legal advice. The legal interpretation itself is a job for a lawyer. Part 6. What this actually looks like inside a normal career. Picture two people doing the same entry-level job today. One spends their time on the routine, repeatable half of it, the part Stanford's data says is shrinking fastest. The other spends their time learning to supervise the AI doing that routine work, catch its mistakes, and make the calls it cannot make. IBM's story is the clearest proof this is not theoretical. The company did not get smaller. It moved people from the shrinking half of the work to the growing half, deliberately. Part 7. How you actually position yourself for the exploding side. Learn to separate the routine, repeatable part of your current role from the part that requires judgment, context, or a relationship, because that is exactly where the market is splitting, in company after company. If you are early in your career, that means volunteering for the parts of your work that involve reviewing and correcting AI output, not just producing more of it. If you are further along, it means becoming the person your company trusts to decide what AI should and should not be allowed to do without a human checking first. And remember the rule from earlier in this series. Never sell, "I know AI." Sell, "I can be trusted to be responsible for what the AI does." So here is the real takeaway. This is not really a story about AI destroying jobs. Every piece of solid evidence here, Stanford's data, Klarna's reversal, IBM's own numbers, points to the same thing. The routine half of a job is being absorbed fast, and the demand for the judgment half is exploding just as fast, often inside the exact same company. The workers landing on the winning side of this split are not smarter or luckier. They move their attention from doing the routine work faster to being accountable for it being done right. Which half of your current job do you think is shrinking, and which half do you think is safe? Tell me in the comments. I read every one, and I want to know what this actually looks like in your industry. If this helped you see where the real opportunity is, subscribe. Next time, we are going deeper into exactly how to make that shift inside your current job, step by step. I will see you in the next one.